Hello everyone, it's the NFL exporter, aka expert reporter, Ty Goodman with the Underworld Sports Show. We're heading into week 8 of the 2013-14 NFL season. We have a full slate of games, so let's hop right into the action, look between the X's and O's and the numbers, and take a look at how these games will shake out. Leading off the way is the 4-3 Dallas Cowboys at the 4-3 Detroit Lions. In this game, I like Detroit. Detroit's been played very solid this year. They're also at home. I like Reggie Bush as an X factor in this game. I don't see the Cowboys having a linebacker, especially in the passing game, who can stop Bush, and I think his versatility will be the key. Megatron obviously is always a threat. I don't see the Cowboys having a person in the secondary who can slow him down either. Matthew Stafford's done a great job this year of limiting turnovers. I also like what Detroit can do on the defensive side of the football. Interior rushers Ndamukong Suh and Nick Fairley, along with rookie Ansai Ezekiel at defensive end. I think they can apply pressure to Tony Romo. We all know that the Cowboys' offensive line does not pass block particularly well. And without DeMarco Murray in the lineup, their backup running back, Randall, I don't see him being able to pick up the necessary yardage in the end. I do see Tony Romo making one mistake too many, and just the Cowboys offense in general, not being able to click on all cylinders. Now, we do know that Detroit has a weak secondary, so if protected, Tony Romo can light up the airwaves, but I do like Detroit in this one at home, 30-21. Moving on to our next game is the 5-2 San Francisco 49ers at the 0-7 Jacksonville Jaguars. And you have to excuse me, there is no home team in this game. This game is being played on neutral territory in London. However you want to shape it up, the 49ers have a distinct advantage on the offensive as well as the defensive side of the football. I fully expect Colin Kaepernick, Frank Gore, Kendall Hunter, the 49ers running the game to get it going early and often, which will open up the play-action pass and allow stud tight end Vernon Davis as well as Anquan Bolden to get open in the secondary. On the defensive side of the ball, even without all-pro outside linebacker Aldon Smith, the 49ers still have a distinct advantage, especially in the front seven. For the Jaguars, we all know it's been a long year. I'm quite sure at some time they may get a victory, but this is definitely not the week. Both their wide receivers, Cecil Shorts, as well as Justin Blackmon, are a bit nagged up by injuries. Maurice Jones-Drew just has not been able to get it going. He's not been the same player since he got injured and had the contract dispute holdout situation last year. I like the 49ers 28-13. Our next matchup sees the 3-4 Cleveland Browns going to the 7-0 Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs have been playing excellent defense this year. I really like these guys. If they continue at this pace, I expect a lot of Pro Bowlers on the defensive side of the ball. On offense, Jamal Charles has been stellar all year, being a threat on the ground as well as catching the ball out of the backfield. Alex Smith has been at the top of his game as a game manager, limiting turnovers and making the key throws when necessary, putting the team in a good position to score points and ultimately leaning on the defense. For the Cleveland Browns, the defense is solid, but they're on the road at Arrowhead, which is one of the toughest places to win in the NFL. You couple that with hardly any running game, which will make them one-dimensional. They're also starting Jason Campbell at quarterback, and that spells trouble. I expect for this Kansas City defense to sink his teeth in, cause turnovers. It should be a long day for the Browns. I like the Chiefs in this one, 24-10. Our next game has the 3-3 Miami Dolphins playing at the 5-2 New England Patriots. Again, we have the Patriots pretty much being able to overmatch the Dolphins in the long run. Tom Brady and company have not really been hitting on all cylinders this year, but after a gut-wrenching loss last week at the New York Jets in overtime, I expect the Patriots to rebound at home. I expect for Stephen Ridley to have a good day on the ground, and I'm quite sure that Tom Brady, especially since Rob Gronkowski is back in the fold, I expect Brady to get back in form. The Dolphins, their indecisiveness in the running game, in my opinion, has really hurt them. Lamar Miller seems to do a good job on the ground, but they just don't feed him the ball enough. Last week they started Daniel Thomas, but Ryan Tannehill, without a solid running game, has not been able to get it going. He's still making a lot of turnovers, and wideout Mike Wallace has been a disappointment for coming over from Pittsburgh. The Dolphins front seven does well. I expect for it to be close early, but I like the Patriots pulling away in the second half. I like New England in this one, 28-14. Our next game has the 3-4 Buffalo Bills heading down south to play the 5-1 New Orleans Saints. The Bills are fresh off a good road victory last week against the Miami Dolphins. However, the Saints are coming off a bye week. On their last game, they let one slip away at New England. I fully expect for Drew Brees and company to be back in form and roll over the Bills. The Superdome is another place that's very tough to play at for opposing teams. And at home, the Saints always average over 30 points a game. Tight end Jimmy Graham may not play in this game, which will open up plenty of other passing options for Drew Brees. Obviously, you want Graham there. Despite all that, the Bills are still playing with third-string quarterback. C.J. Spiller won't be playing in this game due to injury. Fred Jackson's a little nicked up. Just not enough for Buffalo. I think they can keep it kind of close in the first quarter. But again, I like New Orleans big in this one, 38-17. Our next matchup pits the 1-6 New York Giants at the 3-4 Philadelphia Eagles. This is a tough one to call. The Giants were finally able to get off the schneid last week and win at home, although it was against the porous Minnesota Vikings. But one win sometimes can get some momentum going. This is a division game. Mike Vick will be back in action for the Philadelphia Eagles. I still give the Eagles the slight advantage until I can see the Giants' offense get in rhythm. Last week, we still had a lot of overthrown balls, and the Giants' defense has to prove itself. So I like Philadelphia in this one close, 21-17, but I would not be shocked to see the Giants win this game because, again, they are division foes. I feel like that win last week lit enough of a fire under the Giants to give them a little bit of momentum and hunger. This should be one of the better games, although it could be sloppy. But we'll see how it goes. If Mike Vick's hamstring goes out again, which is the injury that he's coming off of, we would see third stringer Matt Barkley in there, which may create some more problems for the Eagles. But at the end of the day, I think the Eagles are a little bit more consistent, and they are at home. I like the Eagles to win this one. Our next matchup, which should be one of the better ball games of the day, pits the 4-3 New York Jets at the 5-2 Cincinnati Bengals. The Jets are coming off a big win at home last week against the New England Patriots, while the Bengals are coming off a 2-game stretch on the road, beating the Bills and the Lions. Right now, QB Andy Dalton is on fire. He's thrown for over 700 yards and 6 TDs the past couple weeks. A.J. Green is handling business out there as well. But Cincinnati has yet to get a consistent running game going this year. I think that is something as the year goes on, they're definitely going to have to build on. The Jets do bring a stout defense to the table. They have an aggressive front seven. They do have guys in the secondary, and Antonio Cromartie, who will be pitted against A.J. Green. That should be a very good matchup, as well as D. Milliner in their secondary. We know that Rex Ryan dials up all type of blitzes and schemes. I really like what the Jets are doing on defense, but it's the offense that's been a bit inconsistent. Rookie Geno Smith has played well, but it seems like it's kind of every other game. Cincinnati also has one of the better defenses in the AFC, and if they can get to Smith early, it could cause problems. I like Cincinnati winning a close one at home, 24-20. In our next game, we have the 2-4 Pittsburgh Steelers at the 2-4 Oakland Raiders. Been a long time since those teams have had the same exact record. I know it's still early in the season, but after a porous 0-4 start, the Steelers have found a way to string together a couple victories. And in this game, I like Pittsburgh on the road. Their defense has continued to be stout, even though they've lost a step. It's really been the offense that has been slowing Pittsburgh down. The Raiders, Terrell Pryor, they really don't have a lot going on offense right now. Darren McFadden is expected to play, but I like Pittsburgh stopping the run, forcing Pryor to throw too much. I think that guys like Lamar Woodley can bring the heat from the outside. And on the offensive side of the ball, the Steelers have been getting more balance with rookie